Is former President Donald Trump a criminal, or are the charges against him merely election interference? I want to hear from you now at 217-629-7970. Again, 217-629-7970. We'll take your calls till the top of the hour. Again, get them lined up. You can also email bishoponair@gmail.com. Is former President Donald Trump a criminal after a third indictment? Let's see here. How many we got here? We got an indictment out of Manhattan dealing with Stormy Daniels and hush money payment allegations. You've got an indictment in federal courts about classified documents being mishandled. Allegedly, you've got a third indictment that was issued yesterday from Jack Smith, the special prosecutor, who also has the classified documents case, and he alleges that the former president conspired to deceive people and try to overturn the election. So we'll get to your calls in just moments at 217-629-7970. A couple of interesting things to note here. You've got Trump's attorney that's essentially saying that really this indictment opens up the opportunity for Trump to relitigate the 2020 election. And go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Thing I will say, though, in 2020, Mr. Trump's campaign had a few weeks to gear up and present evidence, and it was very difficult. We now have the ability in this case to issue our own subpoenas, and we will relitigate every single issue in the 2020 election in the context of this litigation. It gives President Trump an opportunity that he has never had before, which is to have subpoena power since January 6th in a way that can be exercised in federal court.
So you've got the 2020 election going to be relitigated in courts because of this now. Meanwhile, you've got House Republicans gearing up for an impeachment inquiry into the current president, Joe Biden, as people point out how wild it is, the timeline that we have here of revelations of the former president and his son coming out June 7th. FBI releases documents alleging that the Bidens took $10 million in bribes from Burisma. That was June 7th. And then June 8th, Jack Smith indicts Trump on the Mar-a-Lago dock case. July 26th, Hunter Biden goes to court and has a sweetheart plea deal rejected. And then the next day, Jack Smith adds more charges in the Mar-a-Lago case, which, by the way, Jack Smith apparently admitted that he didn't give the defense all the information that they should have given, as courts are supposed to do. But the next day, he adds more charges. And then July 31st, Hunter Biden's former business partner testifies to Congress that Joe Biden was on more than 20 calls with his son's business partners. And then the next day, what happens is Jack Smith indicts Trump again for January 6th. So your calls now at 217-629-7970. And we'll go to the first call here lined up. Good morning. You're on the air. Is it election interference, or is Trump a dirty scoundrel?
Well, Trump's been a dirty scoundrel for a long time, Greg. Good morning. I just want to ask a question. I'm a Republican. I've never voted for Trump, and I never will. But we can't afford 4 more years of Joe Biden. My question to Trump supporters is, when is enough enough? There are other Republicans who will implement the policies that he would implement. When is enough enough? I want Republicans that can win. We cannot afford 4 more years of Biden. When is enough enough?
Well, I would imagine some will say, do we just elect somebody who doesn't have a spine, who will, get raked over the coals by the liberal media for 4 years and then just cower?
I don't think DeSantis or Haley or Scott or any of the or Christie would do that. I really don't.
All right. Appreciate the call. 217-629-7970. Is Donald Trump a criminal, or is this election interference? The latest indictment against the president. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Well, I don't pay a whole lot of attention to what lawyers that work for Trump say, because they've had some doozies in the last couple of years. And this prediction that they're going to relitigate the election, there is no process for appealing the results of that election. It is done.
Well, I don't think it's about, repealing the outcome of the election. I think that they're saying that they are set to essentially relitigate it and show that, at least according to their claims, that there was massive fraud.
This is diversionary tactics to make you stop talking about the criminal.
What about the diversionary tactics to make us stop thinking about Hunter and Joe Biden?
Really? Really? Well, it was a Republican prosecutor that made the deal with him, not a liberal. And it was a Republican judge that said she has a few questions about it. It's not done yet. What the hell does they have to do with Trump? We're talking about Trump.
Well, we're talking about the 2024 election when you get down to it. Again, the question, is this election interference or is this, Trump's a dirty scoundrel? 217-629-7970. Get more of your calls. Line them up. Again, 217-629-7970. Good morning. You're on the air. Going once. Going twice. All right, that phone call apparently isn't working. So stay tuned. We'll get to more of your calls. 7:50 right now. Got to take a break and get those calls. Good morning. You're on WMAY. Your thoughts. Is Trump a criminal or is this election interference?
I'm going to go with the latter and say both. Because, Trump's doing a lot of just random crap that no one else would ever think of and would ever truly get away with. But on the same side of that coin, I mean, Biden's taking advantage of it and making sure that, this election is going to try to go in his favor. Because you're absolutely right, Greg. Everything that is going on is a specific domino that I feel is definitely election interfering.
People who say this isn't about the election, I'm sorry, you're delusional. This is all politics. It's all politics. And the charges against Trump are specifically lined up to coincide with the 2024 election process and the primary process, as is the hopes that House Republicans have of moving forward with an impeachment inquiry, all the investigation around that. Because think about this. If there's an impeachment inquiry of Joe Biden,
is as crazy as Trump.
If there's an impeachment, I appreciate the call. If there's an impeachment inquiry of Joe Biden, that's going to go on at the same time that all the headlines are going to be popping off about President Trump's multiple criminal cases and the ongoing court hearing of those criminal cases. All of this leading up to the November 2024 election. So to say it's not politics, come on. Let's be real here. All right. 217-629-7970. More of your phone. Back with your phone calls at 217-629-7970. We've got literally 2 minutes. So you got to get your calls in. All right. In the meantime, some comments via YouTube. I've never been. No, I'm not going to read that one. I've never been fond. Conservative Latinas for Donald J. Trump. That's one comment. We won't get over Trump. We won't get Biden. Globalists are in charge. It will be interesting who they pick. Another commenter says, media propaganda. Texter says, first time in history an American president uses the DOJ to try to jail their chief political opponent. Very Soviet-like. Distracting from evidence Joe Biden took bribes from enemies and others. So what say you? 217-629-7970. We got a call here, and I'm going to give you the last word this hour. You've got exactly 1 minute. Good morning.
Okay, I'm just going to say that the indictment of Trump, I believe it's all political. This has nothing to do with Trump for investigating the election fraud. It has to do with we the people. We the people were the ones that want it investigated.
I appreciate the call. I do have another caller that was trying to get in. We'll see if we can squeeze them in, and we can't. So, listen, we'll obviously be tracking this because it's going to trial. I don't anticipate Trump pleading guilty. So we're going to have a media circus surrounding all of this, as we have a media circus surrounding the issue of whether or not there's going to be an impeachment inquiry and an ultimate impeachment trial of President Joe Biden for, the pay-to-play and corruption allegations that continue to stack up. All of this coalescing to be an incredible moment in history.
From the Fly SPI Studios, take the easy